Hello students, welcome to the 10th session of pair of linear equation in two variables. In the previous session, we have done the questions of exercise 3.5. I have explained you how to solve it by the cross multiplication method as well as the conditions of to solve the pair of linear equation. Now in this session, we will do the problem sums. Here there's a fourth question. It says, from the pair of linear equations in the following problem, find their solution if they exist. Most important thing is if they exist by any algebraic method. But here you will do these all problem sums by cross multiplication method. You will be doing with the cross multiplication method, not any algebraic method. Is that clear? So here let's take up the first question. Now in this problem sums, you need to understand the information which is given in the question. Here it says a part of monthly hostel charges is fixed and the remaining depends on the number of days one has taken food in the mess. Okay, and here the part of monthly hostel charges, they are the fixed charges. It says it is a fixed charges and the remaining depends upon the number of days taken the food. So whatever the bill raised, it will be raised, it contains the fixed charges as well as the number of days the food was taken by the mess. So when a student A takes food for 20 days, she pays rupees 1000 as hostel charges, whereas a student B who takes food for 26 days pays 1180 as a hostel charges. Now how you will do this kind of a question? Here it says the fixed charges, so here we will take let the fixed charges be rupees X. Okay, and then it says the food taken, let and food, the charges for food, we say the food taken for 20 days, isn't it? Food taken for 20 days. So here per day charges, per day food charges be rupees Y. Okay, so when the she pays for 20 days, what kind of the equation it will form? The equation will be formed, that is X rupees for, that is the fixed charges, and 20 days she is taking the food. So for 20 days the mess charges will be 20Y, and the total bill which she is paying, that is rupees 1000. So this will be your first equation, and the second equation will be formed. The student B pays what again pays the fixed charges. So here the food taken for 26 days. Food taken for 26 days. So here the bill will be X plus 26Y is equal to 1180. So this will be a second, and it says you need to find it out. In the question it said that if the solution, if they exist, you need to find out the solution if they exist. So how we will find out if they exist? So here we will be write these equations in standard form. So X plus 20Y minus 1000 will be equal to 0, and X plus 26Y minus 1180 is equal to 0. So these are the first and the second equation which I have written in the standard form, isn't it? Now to check whether they have the solution or the solution will exist or not. So if the solution exists, so it will be a1 upon a2 should not be equal to b1 upon b2. So we need to find it out this. So if we say the a1 is the coefficient of x, so this will be written as 1 upon 1 should not be equal to, if I say this is a a1 upon a2, and we see b1 upon b2. So b1 upon b2 is what? 20 upon 26. So if we solve this, so this will be equal to 10 upon 13, isn't it? So here we have a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. That means the solution will exist. Now you will solve this by the cross multiplication method. So for the cross multiplication method, so here it will be your x upon the b1 into c2. So this will become 20 into minus 1180 minus, so here b2 into c1. So here this will be 26 into minus 1000, isn't it? And this will be equal to y upon, so here this will be your minus 1000 into 1, isn't it? And minus this will be 1 into 1180. 1180, this will be minus 1180 into 1, and this will be equal to 1 upon, yeah, this will be 1 upon, so this will be your 26 minus 20. So if you see this here, so this will be your x upon, when we multiply, so this will become what? 2000. This will be minus 23,600 minus, and this will be become what? Minus into minus, this will become plus 26,000 will be equal to y upon, this will be minus 1000 plus 1180. This will be equal to 1 upon 6. This will get it. So here for x we will take, the x will be equal to, if we do the subtraction, to what we are going to get it, 26,000, this will we will be getting as 2400, okay, upon 6. This we will get it. So here this will be equal to 400, okay. And for y, the y we will be getting it, y will be equal to, when we are having, this will be 180, to 180 upon 6, that is equal to 30. The fixed charges, what we will get it? Fixed charges will be equal to rupees 400, and food charges, or we can say hostel this mess charges per day, that will be equal to rupees 30. So this way you will do this kind of a question, okay. Now we just move to the another question and see that how we will frame the equation. I will explain you the framing of the equation, and the rest solution you have to do it on your. Now we take up this another question. It says about the fraction. The second part says a fraction becomes 1 upon 3 when 1 is subtracted from the numerator, and it becomes 1 upon 4 when 8 is added to the denominator. Find the fraction. So here fraction where the numerator and denominator are not given, so we have to find out the fraction. So what we do, so here this is a question number 4, second part. So we can assume, let the fraction be, let the fraction be x upon y. So here x is your numerator and y is the denominator. And further it says that the fraction becomes 1 upon 3 when 1 is subtracted from the numerator. So when 1 is subtracted, so what will happen? So when 1 is subtracted from the numerator, okay, so when we are numerator, so this will become what? X minus 1 upon y. So this will become your 1 upon 3. So here when we solve it, so here we get it x minus 1 into, this will be 3 is equal to y, and further when we solve it, so this will become 3x minus 3 is equal to y, and finally we get the equation 3x minus y minus 3 is equal to 0. So this is the first equation which will be obtained. And the next equation, further it says it becomes 1 upon 4 when 8 is added to the denominator. So here when 8 is added to the denominator, okay, so when 2 is added to the denominator, so what will happen? So x upon y plus 8, and this will become 1 upon 4. So here we are doing the cross multiplication. So what we get it? So 4x will be equal to y plus 8, and further we will get 4x minus y minus 8 is equal to 0. So this is the second equation. So now you will be solving the first equation, second equation, and you will find it out whether the solution exists or not by using a1 upon a2 should not be equal to b1 upon b2. So you will find it out, and then you will be solving it by the cross multiplication method. Now let's take up the another question. So I have shown you how to form the equation. Now you will be solving it on your own. Now we take it as a third part. Third part of this question says what? Here Yash scored 40 marks in a test, getting 3 marks for each right answer and losing 1 mark for each wrong answer. Had 4 marks been awarded for each correct answer and 2 marks each been deducted for each incorrect answer, then Yash would have scored 50 marks. How many questions were there in a test? That we don't know how many questions were there. So here it is given that if we do the right question answer, if we answer it correctly, so Yash gets 3 marks for each right answer and lose 1 mark each for wrong answer. So here we can take let the number of correct answer be x and y, or we can say number of wrong answer be y. I hope it is clear. So as per the first, when 3 marks awarded for correct and 1 mark deducted for wrong answer, then equation will be what? So 3x minus y is equal to 40. So this will become your 3x minus y minus 40 is equal to 0. This is your first equation. And the next equation, when 4 marks awarded for correct and 2 marks deducted for wrong answer, then the equation form will be what? 4x minus 2y is equal to 50, and further we can say 4x minus 2y minus 50 is equal to 0, or we can solve it, it will become 2x minus y minus 25 is equal to 0. So this is your second equation. So this are the two equations again that you will be solving it, or you will finding out whether the solution exists or not, and find out the number of the correct as well as the number of wrong, and then you sum it up, so you will get the total number of questions which were asked in the test. Okay, now we take up the fourth part, and it is important question. Try to understand this very carefully. Okay, place A and B are 100 km apart on highway. One car starts from A, another from B at the same time. If the car travels in the same direction at different speeds, they meet in 5 hours. If they travel towards each other, they meet in 1 hour. What are the speeds of the two cars? Now, first of all, that if you see the here fourth part, so here there are the two places, that is your A and B. This is your A point and this is B point, and this distance is your 100 km apart. This is it. Now it says, the first part it says that if a car travels, car starts from point A as well as point B, and it travels in the same direction. Same direction means if the car is traveling from this to A to B direction, and B is also moving in this direction, so then we say they are moving in the same direction. Okay, when they are moving in the same direction, the car which started from A will cover this 100 kilometers, which is the difference between the point A and B. Then only it will meet. So here, when we are talking, when the two cars are moving in the same direction, then their difference at a speed which started from point A should be greater than the car which is started from point B. Then only this car started from point A will cover this. So here if I say let car started from A be named as car A, and the car started from point B, that be car B. So here we take the car A, the speed of car A should be greater than the speed of car B. So let speed of car A be x kilometer per hour and car B be y kilometer per hour. Okay, so when they are moving in this direction, then car A should have the greater speed than car B. Okay, so it is moving. So here the relative or the net speed of both the cars will be different. You will be getting, so let the net speed and net speed of car A, which covers distance and meet car B in 5 hours will be equal to x minus y kilometer per hour, since it is moving in the same direction. That's why its net speed will be this. So we know it that speed is equal to distance upon time. So therefore distance will be equal to speed into time. Now the distance which will be covered by car A will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 100 kilometers. It will not be less than that, because the difference between the point A and point B is what? 100 kilometer. So when this car A will meet to car B, when it covers this 100 kilometer distance, then only it will be able to meet. So here this distance will be your 100 kilometer. So D is equal to 100 kilometer, and the speed will be taken as x minus y kilometer per hour. So here the equation which will be formed, that will be your, and the time is given as time, that will be 5 hours, and speed will be equal to your x minus y kilometer per hour. So that's as per this formula. So we will have 5 into x minus y is equal to 100, or we can say x minus y is equal to 20, or x minus y minus 20 is equal to 0. This will be your first equation. Okay, now in the next part it says when the car is moving in the opposite direction. So here it is your A point, and here it is your B point, and the car A is moving in this direction and car B is moving in this direction. Are you getting it? So they are moving in this direction. Then what will be the net speed? The net speed with which both the cars will meet, with which both the cars will meet will be equal to x plus y kilometer per hour. I hope this is clear. So now they are moving in the opposite direction, so their speed will increase in meeting speed. And if here they were moving in the same direction, then their net speed, the car A which covers the distance, because actually the car A is covering, and here the car A speed will reduce, and here we are taking both the cars are meeting. So both the cars are covering how much distance? They are covering 100 kilometers distance, and they are moving in the opposite direction. So again D will be equal to 100 kilometer, and speed will be equal to x plus y kilometer per hour, and the time taken by both the cars to when they meet, the time will be equal to 1 hour. So again your equation will be what? X plus y into 1, this will be equal to 100. So here x plus y minus 100 will be equal to 0. This will be your second equation. I hope this is clear. If you are not clear, to kindly replay this video and try to understand my each statement, and then your concept will be clear. It is a very important thing that you should understand about the speed when the two cars are moving in the same direction. When we are talking about the same direction, suppose it is moving from east to west or west to east. When they are moving, so here if we say that this is moving from west to east, it is moving, and both the cars are moving in the same direction. When they are moving in the same direction, then the net speed of the second car will be, which is having the higher speed, will reduce. How it will reduce? It will not going to slow down, but the speed of covering, overtaking, that will reduce. Actually what will happen, suppose the car is moving, say one car is moving with 80 km per hour. One car is moving 80 km per hour and the second car is moving with 60 km per hour. So when they are moving in the same direction, so what will happen? This car will overtake this car with the speed of 20 km per hour. Isn't it? When you travel in the bus or car, when you see that the two cars are moving in the same direction, so when the one car which is overtaking, or your car is overtaking the another car, you feel that you are moving with a very, very slow speed, but actually you are moving with a high speed with respect to the surrounding. Okay, So here this will reduce to 20 km per hour. Now when the car is moving in the opposite direction, and that means towards each other, so then in that case, then the car speed of car will increase. Both the car will increase. When you see that we are moving on the road and the two cars are moving towards each other, so each car passes by in a very fraction of second, passes by each other in a fraction of second. The same process applies here. When they are moving in the opposite direction towards each other, so then the speed will increase. Okay, I hope this concept is clear, and you need to keep this in mind whenever the question comes related to the speed part, or when the two vehicles are moving in the opposite direction, or where vehicles are moving in the same direction, there you will apply this thing. Okay. Okay, now we take up the fifth part. The fifth part says the area of rectangle get reduced by 9 square unit if its length is reduced by 5 units and breadth increased by 3 units. Okay, if we increase the length by 3 units and breadth by 2 units, the area increases by 67 square units. Now here we are going to assume, when we know that the area of the rectangle, that is a fifth part, that is area of rectangle. So area of rectangle is written as what? Rectangle will be given by formula length into breadth. Okay, and here in this not length is given, no breadth is given. So let us say let length of rectangle be x units. Here it is not talking about any particular unit, centimeter, meter, kilometer. So here it is taken unit. So here we will take the rectangle length be as x unit and breadth of rectangle be y units. Okay. Now when we say talk about that its length is reduced, here it says the area of rectangle get reduced by 9 square unit. So then we can frame it. So here when the length is reducing by 5 units, so length will be equal to what? Length will be equal to x minus 5 unit. Okay, and breadth will be equal to y, sorry, where it is a breadth is increased, so y plus 3 unit, it is increasing, and area is reducing. So area, that initially the area was what? xy unit, square unit was there, and it was decreased, reduced by it is saying, so this will be your reduced unit. Now the equation which will be forming, that will be your x minus 5 into y plus 3 is equal to xy minus 9. When we open it, so it will become as what? xy minus 5y here, and then it will be your plus 3x minus 15 is equal to xy minus 9. So this xy and xy get eliminated, and here we will be getting 3x minus 5y minus 15, and this 9 will come this side, so it will become what? Minus 6 is equal to 0. So this is your first equation. And the second equation, further it says if we increase the length by 3 unit, so now new length will be what? So here it will be your, that will be your x plus 3 units. Okay, and breadth will be equal to, it is reduced, and the breadth is increased by 2 unit. So here y plus 2 units, it is increased, and area is increased by 67 square unit. That means ki xy plus 67 unit. This will be your increase. The equation which will be formed, that will be your x plus 3 into y plus 2 is equal to xy plus 67 units. I hope it is clear. When you solve it, so you will get xy plus 3y plus 6, and here you will be getting plus 6 plus 2x is equal to xy plus 67. So here again this xy and xy will get eliminated. So we will have here 2x plus 3y minus, this will be getting it. So here minus 61 will be equal to 0. This will be your second equation. I hope this is clear. So you will solve it, and with the help of cross multiplication method, and you will find out the length and breadth. Length and breadth will be given in the units. I hope this thing is clear. Okay, now in this question, this session, I have discussed all the problem sums with you. Now you need to solve these equations. First of all, you try to understand, and the second attempt you do it yourself, the framing of the equations. I hope these things are clear to you people.